Hey guys, in this video we're going to go over booleans in Python. But before I get started, please subscribe to this channel to see more content that I'm going to put out, and please like and comment on this video. I want to see what you come up with, and if you need any help, I'm more than happy to help you. Alright, let's get started. So when we have booleans in Python, it's essentially just Boolean algebra, right? And that kind of relates to how you should know math to do programming, because Boolean algebra is important in any programming language. So we're just going to review that right now. There's operators, not, or, and I conveniently drew the input and output representations of each of the operators. So when we say not, that basically just means the negation of a value. So not true will just output false, not false will output true, because the negation of the value. Now when we have or, right, or is a different story, because in OR there's two sides. There's a left side and a right side, so A or B, right? So when we say A or B, basically, we can say true or false, right? And what is that? True, because one of the sides is true, right? And you can think about it in real life too, right? Either, like, let's say you're on a Ferris wheel ride and you're trying to enter it, and they're saying, oh, either you're above 18 or you're above this height, right? And the only way that you can't enter the ride is if both of them are false. I just made that up, obviously, but it alludes to real life. So A or B, right? True or false. So one of them is true, so the output will be true, right? A or B, false and true, so one of them will be true. The only time it will be false is if it's false and false. Now and is a lot stricter because both sides have to be true, right? So when I say true and false, that's basically false, right? And the only time it will be true is if I say true and true. So yeah, that's the Boolean algebra. So now to declare the variables, you can say, x equals, not true and not false or false, right? Something like that, right? And then we can run it, and oh, let's print it. All right, and we get false, okay? So that's that, right? And I really want to go over the short circuit evaluation. That's important. So notice how a short circuit evaluation only applies to or and. So the idea of short circuit evaluation is that, the left side alone is good enough to determine the whole thing. So notice, like, when I say or, right, if t is there, then true will be outputted. And same thing with t here, is true will be outputted. Now let's say false. Well, if A is false, it's not alone able to give me the answer, because false or true will be true, and false or false will be false. So if all I know that A is false, I can't actually give the answer. I need to know what B is to determine the output, right? But when it's true, I don't need to even care about B because output will be true. So that's what short circuit evaluation is. Same thing with and. If it's false, then already I know the answer will be false. But let's say all I know is that A is true, well, then it's conditional on B, right? If B is true, then it's true. If B is false, then, the output will be false. So that's that. Now, I think we can just go over some examples. So, I can say something like, x equals not true, right? And 12 divided by 0 equals 9, right? Something really random. But not true just is false. So the whole thing will be false. So that's why it'll actually evaluate. So let's run, right? It's going to be false. Notice how I didn't crash, because the left side alone was good enough. Now, let's say had this been not false, well, then it would be this scenario, right? True and true, and then it would be conditional what B is. So now if I run it, I'm going to get a division by 0 error, because this is going to be true, and this, it'll be conditional on this, but I can't even evaluate this because you can't divide by 0. So, this is just a representation of what short circuit evaluation is. And I think that's it, right? Variables, Booleans aren't that complex. Make sure you understand this, because when you go to conditionals later on, you need to have this as a prerequisite. All right? So hopefully you understood, right? There's going to be a next video coming up, and I can't wait to see you then. All right, bye.